Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Business Growth Made Easy podcast. I am your host, Maria Fontana, your favorite business consultant, helping salon professionals globally scale more profits with less stress. And today I have another one of my favorite industry icons, the one and only Mr. Sam Villa. Hi, Sam. Welcome.
Hi, Maria. It's a pleasure, my dear. I'm honored to be on here with you today. And thank you for what you are doing for the industry. We appreciate you.
Oh, thank you. And I appreciate you so much. So let's start off. Why don't you tell everybody, I'm sure everybody knows who you are, but just in case we have some new stylists or lots of students are really catching on and tuning into this, just share who you are, what you're doing, and your magic.
Okay. Well, I've been a hairdresser for quite some time. Matter of fact, Maria and I was just talking about that. It's been over 40 years, but I want to make it perfectly clear. I started when I was one, okay? But over those 40 years, I've learned so much. Number one, it's an awesome, incredible industry, guys. I'm not a rock star. I'm not a genius. I'm not an inventor. I'm not a visionary. I'm proud to say I'm a hairdresser who chooses to be a teacher. But along that journey, I've fallen down quite a bit. And, you fall down 7 times, you stand up 8. But sometimes, especially students out there, I want you to remember, sometimes there's a reason why you fall down, because there's something down there that you got to look at, examine, rediscover, pick it up, and then make it fresh. And you'll rediscover that can certainly help you on your journey. But my journey goes back to my dad when I worked in the barbershop, Maria, and I shined shoes. And I absolutely hated it. But here I am today doing what my dad did, which is really transforming lives and transforming people. But I chose to take the education route. And basically people go, how'd you get where you're at, Sam? Guys, I just got to tell you, it's, education, 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 education. Yeah. I think that, as a hairdresser, we must never cease to learn, because there's always something to learn in this industry. And students, I want you to remember that don't think that you know it all, because don't make the same mistake I made in school, which was I focused on one thing, and that was cutting. Mm-hmm. And then when I left, I found out I needed to know on base, over directed base, irons and curling irons and how to work with them, etc. So please, know that I'm a human being. There's no difference between me and you. You're a human being. The only difference between me and you is the fact that maybe I practice things a little bit more. But it's really been a journey that's allowed me to be able to travel the world and see places and meet people that I thought I'd never meet, experience things that I never thought I'd experience. And then along the way, I decided that, I really want to give back. And the way I could give back was, work on building tools that were ergonomically correct for hairdressers that stand behind the chair. I know Maria, I had wrist, thumb, shoulder, issues and stuff, right?
I love your tools, by the way. They are magnificent, and I endorse them 150%, because when you are behind the chair, you have to take care of yourself ergonomically. We are twisted and distorted if we're not paying attention to our body mechanics. It's so important, and your tools make that so much easier. I do believe that to be true, I will say.
Well, I appreciate that. And it's all about a hairdresser making tools for a hairdresser for the right reason. I think that's so important. Like one of the latest things we came up with was that airbrush, that hot tool brush, that 3-in-1, where it's a blow dryer, it's a straight, things are going hybrid. Mm-hmm. And we got to think about that too when you're at the chair and you're in salons. You got to think about, how can I take what I used to do for free and start charging for it? And let me give an example about that. It's like, I would always talk with you, when you cut a fringe, you cut them some bangs, tell them, hey, you're eligible for a fringe benefit. And the client would go, well, what's that, Sam? Oh, you can come in for a free bang trim. You're entitled to one between each haircut. And I'll give it to you for free. But what it did, Maria, more importantly, was it drove them back into the salon. Well, I would do it, they book it between 2 haircuts. I do it, take me 5-7 minutes, be free, but they'd walk out buying some product. That was their way of saying thank you.
So let's talk about that. Share your secret with the retail, because I know you're a master at retail and upselling with integrity, because I know that about you, with integrity and really being of service. So tell everyone a little bit about that magic, how that works.
Well, here's the idea. Think about that. That was something that I did for free because I didn't want them cutting their fringe themselves. But the most important thing that they didn't know was I was driving them back in the salon. So when they didn't purchase at retail, they felt like, oh yeah, what was that shampoo and conditioner? You know what? Well, I'm here. I'll get it.
Right.
See, eventually, you if you can help them get what they want, you will get what you want. And all I want to do is make it easy for them to manage their fringe. Now, let's talk about real world today. And I'm going to give you some retail tips in a moment.
Okay, great.
Real world today, Maria, I can't drive these people back in for something free because I'm only allowed to have so many people there based on restrictions.
Right.
But what people are looking for is they're looking for, man, all I want to do is get this trimmed, to get this trimmed, and get that done, get it out of my face, get it more manageable. But I don't want to sit there for an hour. So that's called an express service. So now think about this. When you cut a fringe and you cut this phrase fame layering that's really happening right now, tell the client, hey, why don't you come in for a dusting? I know you're not going to come in for 10 weeks because they're extending their appointments, but why don't you come? They are. Why don't you come in 5 weeks and I'll give you a dusting? Well, Sam, what's that? Let me just tip the fringe and dust your front edge, and that way it's going to last you longer. And it's 30 minutes, and I'm going to charge you $40 for it. So you see, what I used to give away free, now I've turned into an express service. And I think that's where we need to start thinking. Then when it comes to retail, listen to this one, Maria. When it comes to retail and you really want to close a sale, guys, what I want you to think about is what I said earlier is if I can help them get what they want, I'll get what I want.
Right.
What's the number one complaint from consumers, from my clients? What would the number one complaint be? The number one complaint was, Sam, I can't get my hair to look like you can.
Oh,
so now in today's world, you've got to make every client visit an experience.
Yes.
So now, based upon what I just said, how could you make it an experience, Sam, and then guarantee that they can get their hair to look like they can? Well, look at this. I'm talking on a phone right now, and I'm talking to you. Can you imagine, Maria, you're my client. I gave you a beautiful bob haircut, by the way. I like your haircut. And we layered it out today.
Thank you.
Now I got to show you how to blow dry it. And I turn to you, I say, Maria, let me have your phone. I'm going to put it on my tripod here, and we're going to videotape with your phone me teaching you how to blow dry your new haircut. Now I hand you, yes, right? Now I hand you, can you imagine? I hand you the tool, the brush, and I'm watching you and I'm coaching you. And then at the end of the appointment, I hand you your phone back and I say, everything I'm suggested for you, the product, is suggestions on this video. How to apply that product, how much to use, it's on this video. How to work with a brush, what brush, it's on this video. Here's your phone. You now have your own tutorial on how to work with your hair. You see, that's an experience, guys, and that's why a client's going to come back. Safety is the new luxury, as Daniel Mason Jones says. It's the new luxury, which it is. But creating an experience on top of that luxury is really important in today's world. So I think, videotaping it. And then your retail areas need to be, they need to be somewhat, people are saying, well, Sam, they can't come touch the product unless they're going to buy it and things like that. Well, it's all about making that extra effort in terms of being able for them to see what's going around the salon. So it's almost like, there's a lot of kids out there that are looking for jobs. You have that person come in as your sanitary, they're coming in, they're spraying down and the clients are seeing this. That person, wow, I was just there and that client, so that person takes care of your retail area. But you make the retail area. How could I get their attention, Sam? Put elastics in a bowl, put Outshine 01 from Redken in it. They see it. They go, why is it like that? Do you put ponytail elastics in your daughter's hair? Yes, I do. Well, we're going to coat it with that Outshine 01 lotion so it buffers the cuticle. You see, that's an added tip that the directions on the bottle don't tell you how to use. So that's professional knowledge that needs to be shared. And Maria, I'm a big advocate right now that hairdressers at the chair need to be educators. If you're not teaching your client how to work with their hair, what you're doing, the conversations of what movie did you watch are gone. The conversations now are about education. Why? Because if you don't show them how to get volume in the crown here, they're going to Google it and up pops Sam teaching them how to get volume in the crown.
Or someone that doesn't know what they're doing on YouTube that really shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah. Like that little girl said with the iron, hold it for 15 seconds. And then what happened to her hair? It's in the iron. That poor little girl.
God. Oh my
Remember
God.
that one way back?
I know. I love that. Well, and again, so let's talk about the future of the industry. And I'm so like high vibe. I feel like we're always transitioning as entrepreneurs, as leaders, as salon professionals. We need to be always looking how to reinvent ourselves, reimagine, and make ourselves better. The people are using the word pivot, but I think in our industry, it's not really about pivoting. It's about expansion, awakening ourselves to the possibilities, right? So let's talk about what you see for our industry. And I want to hear your wisdom and your guidance, because I know so many people need that right now, because they're in a very negative place and they need to step out of it. Like acknowledge, okay, yes, stuff has happened, but you need to get a hold of yourself and let's get going here.
Well, this is now, I first want to say, this is my opinion, and people, let's agree to disagree. I mean, this is where I feel and what I see. And I do a lot of research because as a teacher, I must always continue to research and learn. So I'm giving you good information and quality information that you can use. I really feel that, yes, there's it. I love how you said expansion, it's innovation, it's reinventing, it's relooking. When this whole thing happened, we didn't have a choice. We all had to push our pause button.
Yep.
And as we pushed that pause button, I needed to reinvent myself as a husband, as a father, as a teacher. It gave me opportunities and doors that I didn't have before to open. It made me realize that this is an opportunity for reinvent myself, my voice, my hands, my teaching, etc. And what I've discovered along the way is simplicity is today's brilliance.
I agree.
People are looking for things that are simple. There's too much stress, too much fast pace. I mean, the computer is driving me crazy.
It's
Maria,
overload. I know.
It's like I've never been so busy. At least when I was traveling, I could get on the plane, nothing, shut down, have maybe a cocktail and fall asleep. But now I'm constantly, it's either my family or it's in the studio or I'm on the computer. So it's all about how things have expanded. So I really believe it's about how do you simplify that? Right. How do you bring that down? Expanding at the chair. I've got these new guidelines. Everybody has these new guidelines. But how these guidelines, they kind of like built this. But how do you take that and bring it back down? And I think that's the challenge that we all have to accept is how do you minimize to maximize impact?
Yes.
Think about what I just said. How do you minimize the time at the chair to maximize the impact? Yeah. And I'm not talking about discount. I'm not talking about things. I mean, a lot of you that color hair, you've already figured out how to create express color techniques that you're probably doing. Yes. In other words, I really believe the industry is going to move towards that, where your menu is going to change. It's going to be, now we might move, I don't know, now some of you might disagree, a la carte, those express services,
because
that kind of thing.
People are asking for. So I think that's another thing. We have to remember what we think might be great, but at the end of the day, it's what the clients want. So if we don't hone into like what they're really looking for, we're going to lose that connection. So I think it's important. It might not mean it's going to be like that forever. Again, it could just be temporary, or it might be a shift, but we have to be open-minded enough to be like, oh no, I'm going to stay the same. We've always done it this way. You can't have that mindset, right? You can't.
COVID, gave us an opportunity to disconnect, to reconnect.
Yeah.
So we disconnected from our clients. Now I'm going to ask you all out there, how are you going to reconnect with your clients? Because I'm going to tell you something. If you show up the same way, the connection's not going to happen. Absolutely. We need to show up in a different way. And that's like what I was talking about, building an experience. That means this. When the color is put on, this isn't about me disappearing anymore, because I got nowhere to go except the break room, and there's no value in the break room. There's more value on the salon floor. So create an experience and invest in one of these guys, invest in a pivot point mannequin, sit down with a client in a tripod, like I'm sitting down with you, your colors processing. I'm showing you little tricks on this mannequin. So maybe you can do on your daughter. Maybe you can do it on yourself. See, that's value. That's where the industry is going to go. So now you're spending more time. Robert Cromings made a great comment the other day. I was watching a podcast that he did. Yes, he's on fire right now, but he's on fire because I've seen him reinvent it. Mm-hmm. And his reinvention, he says, is that it's now him and the client. So when the color is processed, he goes, I'm giving her a value I've never given her before. I'm sitting down with her face to face and we're talking about her family. Yeah, we're talking about more depth about her hair. Mm-hmm. We're talking about life. He goes, now that's an experience. I go, wow. You see, that's the change. We were so fast paced, double book, triple book, 3, 4 assistants. I think those are things that still value. But it's how you're going to pace those, that expansion. How are you going to make it work?
So I'll make you laugh. I mean, you don't know this about me, but that's my business model. That's my whole niche. It's a one-on-one experience. And that's what sets me apart in my area. And after 34 years, I've been through the big salon and kept changing, shifting. So before COVID, I already had gone into that model. And that is, Sam, what sets me apart personally, the days I am behind the chair, because I still am behind the chair in one of my salons. And it's that one-on-one, it's that connection. It's that I even have, I created a whole online store. They go home with a prescription. I put in their phone the link where they can order automatically. Like, it's really about making sure I connect with them and I do what they need, because everyone's situation is different. So if I'm not able to accommodate and really make that experience like second to none, there's no differentiation, and they're never going to forget me. That's what I think. That's where my loyalties lie.
Yep. Your smile, that's your business card. Your smile is your business card. Your personality, that's your logo.
Yeah.
How people feel after they experience you when they leave your chair, that's your trademark.
Absolutely.
So, and that's the experience you're creating. See, and I totally agree with you, because that's what people want. All they want to do is like, that whole idea of the connection, it's so important and so valuable. And that connection is, hey, pay attention to me, pay attention to me, listen to me kind of thing. I think that's important today. I think, you have to really understand, learn to listen and then listen to learn.
Yes.
Because that's how you're going to maximize learning, and I think the good Lord gave us 2 of these and 1 of these. As a hairdresser, we need to use these more than we use this. Okay. And when we use this with intent and purpose.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that. So what do you see for the future of education? Like, what would you, what's your mindset on this? And what do you, I know a lot of people have been like, I'm watching all these videos, I'm doing this, but they're very lackadaisical. I see like a little bit of a trend where people are losing their motivation. So what you're an education icon. What can you recommend to everyone, seasoned stylists like ourselves, because sometimes we're the worst offenders, let's be honest. Everybody knows it all.
Right.
They become complacent or burned out. And then, new people just across the board are I call us high performance salon professionals, raising the bar. What do you feel they need to do with education?
Okay. Well, here's the discovery. What did everybody do while they were at home? What do you think they did?
Yeah, they educated themselves.
That's more so than ever before.
Yeah.
And a lot of salon owners discovered, oh my gosh, I need to up my game, my education game at the salon when we get back to salon. They see the value now in that education. Mm-hmm. See, let me go back to that phrase. As a hairdresser, I must never cease to learn. As a teacher, I must never cease to learn. Students, I want you to remember that. There's always something to learn. And then people say to me, they go, well, Sam, I already know that. I go, all right. You know how to cut that haircut? Yeah, I know how to cut. I go, okay, but do you cut it this way? They go, well, what do you mean? I already know how to cut it. No, I'm asking you if you cut it this way, this is another way to cut that. Well, why would I want to learn another way to cut it when I already have a way to cut it? I said, because you're going to get bored and you're going to get mechanical. And guess who's going to detect that? The first person that's going to detect that is going to be the person sitting in your chair.
Absolutely.
So I would really suggest that you walk away from this conversation and you start to accept challenge. You challenge yourself. That's what moves people from good to great, is the fact that they continue to challenge themselves. They're never satisfied. If I can find 5 ways to cut a one-length bob, I'm going to find 5 ways to do it.
I love that.
Because there's danger, right, Maria? There's danger in the comfort zone. I encourage people to keep 1 foot in it and 1 foot out. The foot in it, that's your fundamentals. That's your grounding, your principles. The foot outside of your comfort zone, that's the foot that's exploring and discovering. And you need to explore and discover. So I really think education, the laptop, is the new classroom.
Yes.
That was a big discovery for a lot of, whoa, wow, look what whoa, look at YouTube, whoa, social. Okay, we got that. But I want everybody to remember this. That laptop, this phone can't touch your heart.
Right.
I want you to go to the ABS show when it gets live, the premiere when we get live and we get an opportunity.
I can't wait.
Me too. I can't wait. And of course, you have to trust your surroundings. Let's trust each other. Okay. So we trust each other and we really believe that things will be done the right way when that time comes.
Yes.
But in live education, you have an opportunity to interact. I'll never forget when I did a program with Michael Cole, and this girl in the back was asking questions. And then finally we got in at the end. She said, I love this class. I came here. I just need your opinion. I'm in a salon with 15 people, and I'm the only one that ever goes to classes. And then when I come back, they ask me what they learned and they want me to teach them. Should I be charging them? I said, can I be really honest with you? I said, you're in the wrong salon.
Mm-hmm.
I said, you're in the wrong salon. I guarantee you, before you leave here, how many salon owners here? They all raise their hand. I go, how many of you would like her in your salon? They all raise their hand. I go, I guarantee you, before you leave here, you're going to get a job offer. Right. Now, the reason I'm saying that story is because had she not been there live, that would never have happened.
Of course.
Had she relied on the computer, that would never have happened. So I really believe education is going to become hybrid. That's where it's going to go. You're going to see a combination of the two. Can you imagine? I'm doing a distributor show, and I've got 100 people that paid X amount of dollars live, but then I'm streamlining out that people paid X amount of dollars to see it streamlined at home. So you're satisfying both needs of those people. I think that's how we're going to see education. But the point I want to make is education is a must. It's not education, my friends, is an investment in your future.
Yes.
So do not stop investing in your future. Education is critical in my book.
And Sam and I both, as industry, being in the industry since we're babies, can say, and anyone who's had success in this industry, correct me if I'm wrong, Sam, we continue every single day. I never say, I know that. I don't know anything. And I've been successful 34 years. Every day is a learning experience. And you know what else I love, Sam? When I go into the vocational schools, because I do that in New Jersey, and I connect with the students and I teach them. Do you know I learn? Every time I do that, I leave there that I learned something new from them. The inspiration, the motivation, you can't beat that. It's just amazing.
You ever get in your car, Maria, and you're driving, and there's this, you got a big smile.
Yeah.
You got this big smile, and you're driving back maybe to the salon. I'll never forget these days when I'd go to the local cosmetology school, and I have a big smile. And you know what? It was because I was walking away feeling so good, the fact that I really empowered those students.
Yes.
And there's nothing, you can't pay a teacher for that type of feeling. I'm even getting goosebumps talking about it.
I know.
But that's the idea too that happens when you go to a live educational event. You just get so empowered versus sitting at home, where sometimes that become a little bit more relaxed environment. The people that are going to succeed with these online education are the people that do it right. In other words, you set yourself up, you're focused on this, and you stay with it. There's no side distractions or anything.
Correct.
That's powerful learning there.
I love that. So before we sign off for today, what's the one thing, if you could walk away today and leave everyone with one really powerful golden nugget, what is that one thing they need to do in the next 6 to 12 months to get back on track or elevate? Even if they're on track, just to elevate their own energy, elevate their salon, elevate their teams, whatever it is that they need. What's that one thing that's non-negotiable in your opinion?
Success is like chasing a butterfly. The more you chase it, the more it eludes you. Yet if you focus on the task at hand, that client that's in your chair, success will land softly on your shoulder. So stay focused. Don't quit, just do it. I think right now, focus is such a key for a lot of people. There's too many distractions going on out there. Find out what you want to do, figure out a plan, how you're going to go about it, and just do it. And that comes with focus.
I love that. Well, Sam, I want to thank you for joining me. I'm going to have everything drop down in the description, guys, how you can reach Sam, how you can buy his amazing tools, how you can connect with him for education, all the amazing services he offers to our beautiful industry. I want to once again thank you, Sam, for joining me. You were so amazing and you impacted tons of lives today. I already could tell.
Well, thank you for your time. And once again, thank you for what you do. It's always a pleasure and honor. And we'll have to do this again.
I can't wait. And I'm looking forward to seeing you live, Sam. I can't wait.
Thanks, Maria. Take care.
Right. Thank you.